My name is Sylviatoy. Thank you for watching this video. This is the third monologue I've done this week that is part of my research of what is an emerging artist. It has been a really interesting week for me as an emerging artist, in that I spent about 12 hours pretty much straight corresponding with he's a pirate. He had downloaded all of my videos on YouTube, which is almost 500 videos, and was offering them as free downloads on his site in Bangladesh. And I had to chase him down myself, and I shared the information, i.e. complained to YouTube. Like, are dealing with Google is like trying to deal with AT&T was in the old days. They're a utility, and the issue of privacy, even though I had to chase down my own pirate because I'm self-represented. I know how to research issues like this. I know how to find out who owns a website and where it's located. That's all I can do. All I can do is track down the information, deal with the guy directly, put my face on the other side of the issue, try to put a face on him so that I'm fair. But the fact is, I did not give permission to anybody to download my videos from YouTube and re-upload them and offer them for downloading by somebody else. So the other thing that happened this week is I submitted my headshot and resume for a part in a play, and on the basis of my videos, probably on YouTube, on the basis of that, I was offered the part, and that's fantastic. But still, I was working for myself. I had to handle that myself. I had to talk about and answer questions about whether the money was okay myself. I also got a rejection letter from a film festival. That's big news. I almost only get rejections from film festivals, which is fine. This is a film festival. You know, I would like to get in it once before I die. So, you know, periodically, every other year, maybe, I'll resubmit and, you know, not chew my own fingers or toes off because of it. This rejection letter is from a festival that is run by people who are independent filmmakers working on a shoestring, just like me and most of my friends who are filmmakers and video artists. And so it's close to their heart. And I have been an arts administrator myself, where I was doing the fundraising and a lot of the funding myself of producing other people's work. I haven't performed live since 2007, but I continued to produce and do fundraising, grant writing, arts administration for a theater company. There is a difference between film festivals that are run by filmmakers and film festivals that are run by film lovers. There's a different psychology. I think that I'm guessing that's the psychology of non-filmmaker run festivals of people who are passionate fans. From one of those, a film festival that's run by fans, mostly by fans, you're probably not going to get a rejection letter like the one that I got this morning, where they talk about the very important fact of a film needing to be the right length to match the needs of the festival itself. As a theater arts admin, I often was curating original plays, always short plays, almost always short plays, by individuals, and programming those. Sometimes to give as much exposure to your artists, also taking into consideration that those artists are going to be inviting, their friends and family and people in their network. You have to think about a program not being overbalanced by one artist who's got a particular voice, who's working in a particular genre, over 5 to 10 other artists who are going to be presenting on the same night in other genres, other interests, with whole other sets of audience that they're bringing in. And that is one of the reasons that, especially in small theater showcases, you get 10 minutes, you get 15 minutes, you get 20 minutes. If you have five performers and you only have 1 hour, then none of those performers can go over 12 minutes if you're going to fit everybody in. If you've got 4 performers and you have 1 hour, then all of those performers are going to have to keep their piece to 15 minutes. 4 times 15 is 60 minutes. And so on and so on and so on. And I've even been in fundraising type showcases as a solo performer myself, where you had about 5 minutes, and that's from your entry into your exit. All of that, and delivering your performance, all of that had to be done in the space of 5 minutes. And they had people ushering in and ushering out, ushering in and ushering out, like a damn break. So I started thinking about that today, because I was also a dramaturg. And so I've had people come back to me, people that I've been coaching them or helping them, editing, dramaturging, coach. So I got offered an opportunity to read part of my play, or to perform part of my play in this showcase. That's what you call it in theater. It's the same thing as a program of short films. They just call it something else. They call it a program, usually. I remember this one particular case, I think the person said the only thing is it had to be only 10 minutes. And I'd been working with this person on the play, and she was very talented, but the play was all over the place. And I'm like, my God, what part did you perform? You have to put all of that stuff back in. You have to forget what you cut. And I have been told that myself by people who are dramaturging my plays, which led me to further think about what that means for a person as an emerging artist. I've been emerging as a solo performer. I've been emerging as a playwright. because sometimes I was submitting my play for other people to read, and still I would have to select a scene or a set of scenes, or even make a cutting, which I prefer to do. And by the time I was asked to do anything like that, I'd been studying dramatic writing probably for 6 or 7 years at that point, and I want to have an arc. If I'm going to show people my work, if people are going to be reading my work, I want it to have an art. I don't want to just pick a beautiful section of words. It's a story. And I want to keep the shape of a story there, even if I'm only cutting it down to one character's through line, rather than the through line of the whole story. So what that means is that as an emerging artist, you spend a lot of time waiting online. Just like I did at that festival where I had 5 minutes, including my entry and my exit, with people acting as dam breaks. That's a lot of what it means to be an emerging artist.